Okay, so for our lesson today, we are still going to be graphing lines like this for part of it, and then we're going to graph some of the easier lines too.
My legs hurt.
So make sure you guys are following along because these are with points. So we're going to graph and find the solution of both linear inequalities. And what this means is, we've got these two lines right here. We're going to graph them both, and you know how we shade them? Wherever our shadings overlap is going to be our solution. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph this first line, then we're going to graph this second line, and then wherever our shadings overlap is going to be our solution. Because I want to get like the true side of both pieces. So we're going to start, and we're just going to graph this first line right here, and it's going to be just like our warm-up. So I got to start at B. Susie, what's my B on this first one right here?
-3.
Yep. So we're going to go down to -1, 2, 3 right there. And from B, I'm going to follow my slope. Sophia, what's my slope?
Wait, what?
What's my slope on this first line right here? What?
Wait, you're...
Yep. 7/4 is my slope, right? Remember, it's mx plus b. B is where I start. M is my slope. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Jared, is my line going to be solid or dashed when I connect these?
Solid.
Solid. So I'm going to make a nice solid line. And we need to pick the side to shade, right? Keith, what point you want to pick?
The true side.
Yeah, but we have to figure that out by picking a point. So what's a good point you want to pick? Nice easy one. 1, 1's a good one. We could do like 0, 0 if we wanted to, or like -1, -1, doesn't matter. 1, 1's a good one.
I was thinking about 1, 1. So
It's a good one. So we're going to plug in 1 for x, 1 for y, and then we're going to see, is it true or false? Okay? So I'm going to go 1 greater than or equal to 7/4 times 1 minus 3. And I don't know what this is off the top of my head, the 7/4 times 1 minus 3. So Kyle, since you got decimals right there, look that into decimals for us, please. The 7/4 times 1 minus 3. Yeah, I know. I just kind of just
We get negative 1.25.
Okay, so I get 1 greater than or equal to negative 1.25. Is that true, Alex? Is 1 greater than negative 1.25?
No. Wait, greater?
Greater than.
Yes.
Yes, because that's a negative, right? So 1 is greater than the negative 1.25, which means this is my true side. So I'm going to shade it, but when I do it, I'm not going to shade it super dark. I'm just going to do real little like that. Because we are going to go through, and I'm going to graph the second line right here. I'm going to graph the second line right here on here. So I don't want to like cover things up because I need to do it on the second line. All right, and this is y is greater than or equal to 4. So on this one, it's just a y, right? A y and then a 4. If it is just a y, well, is my line going to go left and right or up and down? It's backwards. It's going to be left and right at 4. So remember, if it's just y, there's no x there, right? If it's just y, my line is left and right. If it's just x, my line is going to be up and down. So because this is just a y, it's going to be, let me make that a better left and right. It's going to be left and right when y is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to make my left and right line. But, Joyceline, is it going to be solid or dashed? Answer.
Mrs. Goldkey.
Hurry up. No. Hurry up, do the lesson. Hold on. Is it going to be solid or dashed?
Solid.
Solid. So I'm going to make my solid line. Okay, I got my solid line. And then, this is y is greater than 4. Trayton,
Hmm.
which one of these is going to have numbers greater than 4? It's going to be above it or below it?
Above it.
Above it, right? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to shade above this line. Okay, so we are almost done. What I need to do now, where does both the shading parts overlap? It's a little hard to see on this one. But where both shading parts overlap? Like there's nothing here, right? So it's not going to be there. Does this piece right here have the green with it?
Not good.
No. The only spot is up here, right? I've got the green and I got the brown. That means this piece right here is my final answer. So what I want you guys to do is shade this part extra dark. That is your final answer. So shade it extra dark. So do a little bit of shading on the first and the second. And once you figure out where both pieces cross each other, shade that extra dark. And that piece right there is our answer.
Is it done?
It
It's kind of cool though.
is. No. That's a fire alarm.
Alright, that's it. So we're just going to practice this a little bit more.
Is that my leaf? That leaf looks ugly. What you do to
I'm
it?
playing. The fire alarm is pink. Like, it's
Alright,
a real fire.
So we're going to go through and we're going to find the solution on this next one. So I'm going to graph my first one, and the first one is pretty much always going to be the tougher one. So I think we are back to Allison. What's the first thing I need to do on this first one right here?
You need to put. You have to get a positive one.
Yep, you put a dot at 1. Trayton, what am I doing next?
Change the number.
Really what?
Change Y.
Alright, we put a dot at B, right?
Yeah.
Then we got to follow our slope. What's our slope?
4/3.
Yep, don't forget your negative.
Negative 4/3.
Yep, don't forget your negative. So, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put my dot. And is it going to be solid or dashed, Dylan?
Solid.
Solid. I'm gonna put my solid line right there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Alright, Susie, what point you want to pick?
I don't know.
Pick one that's not on the line. That's all you need to do.
1-1.
1-1's a good one. 1-1 is a good one. So I'm going to plug in 1 for x, 1 for y. We're going to see what we get.
What?
I'm going to go 1 less than or equal to. You don't have to use 1, 1 if you don't want to. We'll get the same answer either way.
No, I'm like.
So negative 4 over 3 times 1 plus 1. Jared, you got decimals right there. Plug this piece into decimals for me, please.
I got it. So,
And then, oh, hang on, don't forget to click over, yeah, to the right. There you go, perfect. And 1, and then plus 1. Don't forget plus 1. There you go. What'd you get?
Negative 0.3 all gone.
Alright, and 1 is less than negative 0.3.
then that's a lie.
Alright. Sophia, is this true? Is 1 less than negative 0.3? No. That means my true side, so this is my false side, this is my true side, so I'm going to shade my true side, and I'm going to shade it really easy, like that. I'm not going to shade it a ton. Do I need to be able to see what I'm doing next? Okay. Then we got to graph x is greater than or equal to 3. Is this going to be up and down or left and right?
Left and right.
Backwards from what you think. This one's going to be up and down. When x is 3. So remember, if it's an x, it's going to be up and down. If it's just x, up and down. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
How come if it's y, it's left and right?
Yep, it's backwards from what you think. That's only when it's just x and just y though. Alright, so we're going to go through here. This is going to be a solid line, right? You guys are good at that. Okay. Alex, which side is going to have numbers greater than 3? Left side or right side?
Right.
Right side. So I'm going to put my shaded part here. Alright. And then I need to figure out where do they overlap. Where do they overlap at, Kyle? What do you think?
What?
Where do my shadings overlap? And let me get a little bit.
3?
Like, okay, let me back up. Do they overlap in here? in this little section? Like, is there even any shading here?
No.
No. What about right here in this section? There we go. What about right in here? Do we have overlap here?
No.
Now we just got red, right? Over here, there's just the green. The only spot they overlap is this little corner right here where I have red and green. So this is my final answer, that little piece right there. So shade it in really dark, so I know it's your answer, and that's it. All right, you guys want to do another one together? You want to do one on your own?
Together.
No, it's one on one.
I'll do
Together.
it on my own.
Together.
No,
Got
two.
Do them on my own.
Now it's 2 and 2.
Together.
Okay.
3 over 2. So.
No, we
One
got
on one.
this gold.
Allie.
I can do this.
All right, I'll tell you
all
what.
my
I want you to
days.
graph the first line on your own, then we'll talk about it. We're gonna combine it.
Oh, that's so
Graph just the first line on your own.
That was a break.
You're working on your. Do you even have notes? What do you?
There's
That brought
So graph the first line on your own, which is the hardest, probably the, maybe not the hardest, but the longest part.
Mr. Golke.
Hmm.
Like, at the end of the year, like
Yes.
when school's out, do you guys still have to come to school?
Only for like a day, maybe 2, just to pack stuff up. for the
But
periods.
have you like ever like forgot something? Like, oh, I can't get it until next school year, or can you come back
No,
and
I
get
have
it?
keys still.
Oh.
We don't turn their keys.
you should get your keys. You never go back.
Okay, so graph this first line on your own. Remember, start with B and then follow slope. So start at B, then follow your slope on this first line. Start at B and then
Is
follow
1
slope.
greater than 3
Hold up. I have no fail.
There we go.
One.
That just looks so funny.
That's what that.
Number 3.
Joyce Lee right in the head.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay.
Don't worry, he's a football
Good
player.
kid.
He knows not to fail. Why not to fail?
There's no such
Come
thing
on.
as kids.
I want you sticking.
She's a better. She's a better kid.
Come on. Almost there.
Well, that's
Oh.
no.
We're chugging. Here we go. A beast.
What did you say?
All right, you guys are gonna help me out on this first line. Pick somebody random. All right. Oh, Kyle. Where's my first dot gonna be? Yep. 1, 2, 3. That dot. All right. What am I gonna do to get to my next dot? Trayton.
Yo.
What am I gonna do to get to my next dot? I did my first one at 3. After that, what do I gotta do?
Go up 1, over 2.
Up 1 over 2. Okay. And then is my line going to be? No, what is that desk? Sit. What is that desk? Dylan, is my line going to be solid or dash?
I meant dash.
I thought you said why.
Alright, it's going to be dash. So I'm going to make my dash line. Put some arrows there. Alright, and then we have to shade aside, right? So what point should we pick? If I can get somebody that's here and that I haven't already called on. Kyle, I've got you like 4 times. Nice catch. Sophia, what point should I pick? Which is? 1, 1. It's a good one. Alright. So I'm going to pick 1, 1. When I plug in 1, 1, what is that going to look like, Willem? When I plug in 1, 1 in the equation.
Can I?
Why next?
Yeah, like when I replace it with 1, 1, what's that going to look like? No,
1/2
I'm asking Willem.
Don't let her speak, please.
No,
Being mouthy.
You're being mouthy. You it out.
Alright, what do I get when I replace the X and Y with numbers? Okay, we're plugging in 1, 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when I plug in, it's gonna be like 1 here, right?
Yeah.
1 greater than, and then keep going.
1.5.
Yep.
The 1
And then
times 1
I have 1, there you go.
plus 3.
Okay, plus
I'm
3.
gonna look up something.
Alright, Allison, what do you get for when you do 1/2 times 1 plus 3?
1/2 times 1 plus 3 is 3.5.
So I get 1 is greater than 3.5. And is that, Susie, is that true? Is 1 greater than 3.5?
Yes. No.
Dude,
No.
Mr. Golky.
That means this is the false side,
Ew.
and this is the true side. So we're gonna shade up here, and I'm just gonna go real light like that. Okay, that's our first one. All right, I want you to graph the second one now on your own. So graph the second one now on your own. Y is less than or equal to 5.
Already got
And real quick though, if it's Y, is it going to be up and down or left and right? Since it's just Y.
It's gonna be this way.
Yep, it's going to be left and right because it's just Y.
Mr. Golky.
Yes.
Dude, I asked you like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, man.
That urge is just getting
Can I
worse.
go grab my peach?
Better hurry, man. No,
You
it's
know,
not
it's-
enough.
Finished
It's still
already.
You know
cool.
it's bad.
Yeah.
It's
We're
really
about that.
bad.
It's about to persuade me to just bounce. Just walk out Mr. Golky's room.
After the lesson.
Oh.
Suffering, did you just really?
What's wrong with that?
No, it doesn't go
Suffering
deep.
builds character.
Actually,
Suffering
think about
So
it.
if I
Builds
go
character.
forever without eating food, it builds character.
You're going to have so much character.
Yeah, he'll look anorexic.
Dude, I'm already a character.
Yeah. You've got the wrong kind of character though.
The fun character.
Alright. So on this one, for her, we'll be done with this one. Okay, on this one. So Keith, is my line going to be up and down or left and right?
It's gonna be up and down. Wait, it's gonna be left and right.
Okay, at what number? Remember we're on the second one.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, so I'm going to go up here to 5, and I'm going to make my left and right line. It's going to be solid. Okay? Which side am I going to shade? Jared, which side am I going to shade? Which side has numbers less than 5? Top or bottom?
Less than 5? Okay, yeah.
Y is less than 5, right?
Less than 5, why not just be 1?
Like, is it going to be, am I going to shade up here or down here?
Down there.
Down here, right? Okay? So I'm going to shade that in. Alright?
This lesson's kind of pointless.
Am I getting done?
Why?
It
What you
is,
do just
honestly.
like solving it and then shading
Bro.
stuff in.
Yeah. Isn't that easy?
No,
You like
it's
that?
stupid.
Easy.
I wanna learn
Alright,
some real
Allison.
math.
Where am I going to shade?
No socks, because like I would take
You're
it.
gonna shade what?
Like, where am I going to shade for my final answer?
No, but like.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
There's
go
a
outside,
final
like,
answer.
Yes.
left
Where
side,
both of the things overlap.
shorts.
None of them
Well, it's,
overlap.
What do you
Yeah.
call it? It's
Do they overlap down here?
They
Yeah, like 3 days
They
around.
overlap up there.
On the top left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my blue shade and my brown shade right there. So this is where I'm going to color it in really dark. So this black piece right here is my final answer.
Oh my god. I'm done.
Not that bad. Alright, that black piece is my final answer.
Ew.
And there is real world problems we could do with this, but I didn't think you guys really wanted to do them.
Where in life would we use this map?
I could do a whole lesson on like real world problems like this. They're basically just big story problems.
No, like what?
Okay, I need to go restroom.
Like if you own like a business and you want to say like how much if I make like this many like say hot dogs, like if it's a restaurant, if I make this many hot dogs, this many hamburgers, like at what point where they cross do I actually make money?
Go get, I need to go restroom now.
More
Can you, like, hurry up on
Well,
the
it was Keith
lesson?
first.
Yeah, it's me first.
Alright,
I know,
we're gonna
that's
skip
what
the
I'm
next
saying.
one.
Hurry up and move on with the lesson.
Ryan, you guys are talking.
Trying.
Alright, you guys doing okay? So we're gonna skip
Whatever.
this one.
Oh, okay.
And you guys can go to your exit ticket. So, because your exit ticket is graphing, you're going to do it on your paper, and in about 5 minutes, I'm going to check them. And actually, I check it to see who hasn't done it. So,
Keith, can you go now?
to get your exit ticket points, keep your paper out until I check them. Now you go, Keith.
Thank you.
So do your exit